Illustration 53. The capital accounts of X, Y, and Z as on 31st March 2024 were rupees 1,50,000, 5,50,000, and 11 lakhs respectively. These capitals are closing capitals. So divisible profit for the year 31st March 2024 was rupees 3 lakh, was to be distributed in the ratio 4 is to 1 is 4 is to 1 is to 1 after allowing interest on capital at 10%. During the year, each partner withdraw rupees 50,000 per month. So 50,000 per month into 12 gives you 6 lakhs per year for 3 partners. The partnership did not specify the profit sharing ratio and the interest on drawings, but allowed interest on capital at 12% per annum. Now for this we are supposed to do an adjustment rectification entry, as they did not specify the profit sharing ratio and interest on drawings, but they have already calculated it in the 4 is to 1 is to 1 ratio, and interest on capital was calculated at 10%. Now to find out, first we will calculate the opening capital. Why? Because they have not given opening capital over here, they have given only closing capital. So closing capital of each partner, that is X, Y, Z, are 1,50,000, 5,50,000, and 11 lakhs respectively. So we are supposed to add the drawings, that is 50,000 into 12, 6 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 6 lakhs. We get 7,50,000 for X, 11,50,000 for Y, and 17 lakhs for Z. Now we are supposed to less the profit that had been already credited in the ratio 4 is to 1 is to 1, 2 lakhs, 50,000 and 50,000. We get opening capital plus interest on capital. Why? Because it is at the year end and they have not given interest on capital to be so and so amount. Now so that is the reason why we are calculating opening capital with interest on capital. Now X's opening capital including interest on capital is 5,50,000 and Y is 11 lakhs and Z is 16,50,000. Since they have already included interest on capital, we are supposed to calculate that by putting 10 by 110, which for which we get 50,000, 1 lakh and 1 lakh 50 respectively. Now the opening capital for X will be 5 lakhs, Y will be 10 lakhs and Z will be 15 lakhs. This is the opening capital of X, Y and Z. Now let us transfer it to the adjustment table. So when we transfer it to the adjustment table, first we are supposed to write the rectification entry. The rectification entry, that is the wrong entry that had been passed by the firm. That interest on capital at 10%, which was a mistake, which had been passed by the firm, should be debited of X, Y's and Z's capital, because it is an expense for them and the firm is generating an income from this. The share of profit should also be debited from X's capital, Y's capital, Z's capital. So interest on capital at 10% will be 50,000, 1 lakh and 1 lakh 50,000. The firm credits rupees 3 lakh in its account. Share of profit will be 2 lakh 50,000, 50,000. The firm credits 3 lakh in its account. Now we are supposed to do the rectification entry. Rectification entry is the interest on capital at 12%. Now it is an income for X, Y and Z, which will be 60,000, 1 lakh 20,000 and 1 lakh 80,000, and it is an expense for the firm, that is 3 lakh 60,000. Share of profit in the ratio 1 is to 1 is to 1, we get 80,000, 80,000, 80,000, because adding 6 lakhs and minusing 3 lakh 60 we get 2 lakh 40. Now we will check the debit and the credit side. We'll check the debit and the credit sides of excess and excess capital, 2 lakh 50 and 1 lakh 40. Subtracting these we get 1 lakh 10,000 in the debit side. Y's capital subtracting we get 50,000 in the credit side, and Z's capital we get 60,000 in the credit side. So that will be the journal. Now the journal entry for that sum will be X's capital account to Y's capital to Z's capital, 1 lakh 10,000 and 50,000 and 60,000 respectively.